Here at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Wanted to get here in time for the Irish dance show, which is going to be at 4:30, 45 minutes. There's another one at 7, but I was wanting to get both because it's not going to be showing tomorrow. They're off on Mondays. I rushed to Busch Gardens today to get here in time for the 4:30 Celtic Fire Show. This is my #1 attraction at any amusement park. I will take this over any and every roller coaster.
Make sure you're ready, and then you go flying down.
The lap bar will need to be lowered until it is snug against your body. Please hold your hands out so the operator may check your harness.
And finally rode Finnegan's Flyer. Basic SNS scream and swing. You get that view if you're facing this direction. It's the usual short cycle, but they're always fun. All right, it's finally time. What will certainly be my second favorite new coaster of 2022. My second favorite new credit. So Iron Gwazi, then Pantheon. I mean, I'm calling it even before I ride it. But tempered expectations. I'm not expecting to like it as much as Velocicoaster. 10-minute wait. Holy cow. On a Sunday? Every other time I've come to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, it is just so crazy crowded. Somehow this isn't today. I got very lucky. I got on Pantheon right before it shut down. It is closed because it's too hot. I haven't heard of that before, but I guess you never know. Different rides have different requirements for how they can operate. But I got lucky. I was on the next to last train out before it shut down. In the front row for my very first ride. Number 537 is almost certainly top 20. That was phenomenal. The airtime that you get on the swing launch is incredible. The hang time on that first inversion and the perfect floater airtime on the 0G stall, which that's what a 0G stall is supposed to do. It's supposed to give floater airtime, not hang time. Misconception of a lot of people. 0G stalls are not supposed to give hang time. They're supposed to give floater airtime while upside down, and this one does it perfectly. I think it does that better than Velocicoaster. Don't get me wrong, Velocicoaster's better. There's no doubt about that, but this is incredible. This was way better than I thought it would be. Not as good as Maverick. Probably not as good as Millennium Force, I would say, but it's close. So, somewhere in the upper teens on my rankings. I got a great ride on Griffin in the back row after a little bit of a storm delay. Now time to get back on Invader. Haven't ridden this in 4 years. And of course, if you know, you know. Ended the day with a night ride on Pantheon. And that was incredible. Did front row earlier. This night ride was the next to last row. And I don't know which one's better, front or back. The drop off the top hat is definitely better in the back. But honestly, I think everything else could be better in the front. Well, the vertical spike's probably better in the back too. It takes a little longer to get in when you come at opening. Yesterday is about 5 minutes from arriving at the parking gate to inside the park. Today is about 25 minutes. It's not like Kentucky Kingdom where you can just show up at 10 minutes before opening and expect to be in the park in time, where just everything runs so smoothly. Everything has a bit of a wait here. But also, I did go get my GoPro checked, so that took an extra... Actually, that was the quickest thing. That only took like 2 minutes.
I guess I go.
15-minute wait. I can handle that. That wave turn is pretty good. Not as good as the RMC's. We're victims of the wind again. 999 minutes. There's no other ride in the world that's this sensitive to wind. It may not be 10, it may be 12, 15 or so, but that's still crazy that it can't operate in that. Everything else is open.
Ready? Aim alive!
I'm nearly 2 hours in, finally got on my first ride. Pantheon breaking down right before getting on after waiting an hour. Apollo's Chariot. Now all the Pantheon people are now here at Apollo's Chariot, so it's got a bit of a line. Great floater the whole way down. This is an elite drop tower. First time I've rode Tempesta in 4 years. This was my first ever Skyrocket 2, and it had those discomfort collars, and they hurt on my first ride. I have figured out how to manage then, and so now I'm fine with it. I said Tempesta was terrible back then. It's not. It's a good ride if you can manage those discomfort collars. Nothing super special about it, but it's all right. These things, so unnecessary. You don't need them. And if you get smacked by them, they hurt. And oh yeah, that you don't have, there's actually something else down there on the ride. If you get smacked by those, it'll hurt, but I hold on to them and I kind of like press them against my chest. That way I won't get smacked around. But that's what I didn't like about it 4 years ago. Other than that, it's a good ride. Get some good positive forces. Get some airtime going up to the top. Hang time on the inversion. More airtime on the drop. I've gotten 4 more rides on Pantheon today. A lot on Apollo's Chariot. It's at a short wait. And of course, got back on Tempesta. Did a few on Loch Ness Monster. That was riding really good. Of course, I'm a big fan of those arrows. Me too. Went over, did Alpengeist a couple times in Invaders. Gonna do Griffin, and then everything shut down for weather. But everything's back open now. Got on the first 2 rides out on Apollo's Chariot.
Like scared to go
in the front. And did it break down? Are you kidding? Oh boy. This ride. It is such a great ride, but boy, it's a technical nightmare. That's one of the advantages of sticking out the rain delay. Or, well, it actually didn't rain here. No lines. Well, yeah, for a little bit, for about an hour, but then now everything's open with no lines. 15 years for Griffin. Got 4 rides in about 20 minutes on Griffin. I could stay for longer, but I saw Pantheon running. I'm hoping it'll still be running by the time I get over there. Yes, we're open, and it looks like a station wait. Heck, it might be a walk-on. I don't know how that happened, but I ended up with 10 rides on Pantheon today. Of course, 6 of those were in the last 25-30 minutes. There was lightning nearby at about 6:30, shut down the rides for about an hour, and almost everybody left. When I was on Apollo's Chariot, looked out to the parking lot and noticed that it had cleared out. Everyone had left. For those of us that stayed, it paid off. There were no lines anywhere. We were getting to stay on trains for a second time. They had the rule here, just like at King's Dominion, you could do 2 rides, then you got to walk around. So that's what a lot of us were doing. Although I only did that twice, including right at the very end. So 6 rides at the end, and the last, I believe, 3 or 4, I don't remember, were rain rides. It's a very light rain though. But still, you're going 74, 73 miles an hour in even a light rain. You feel it, but it was so worth it. I've gone on faster coasters in heavier rain before. I rode Yukon Striker at 80 miles an hour in a pretty considerable downpour. I rode Leviathan that day too in a lighter rain, but still, that's over 90 miles an hour. But this day started off kind of rough. Started off slow. It was Pantheon broke down after waiting an hour in line, and somehow I still ended up with 10 rides on it. Ended up with about 30 rides or so in total. BGW has been a park that I've always had a hard time with the crowds. Seems like I always come on very busy days, even on weekdays. But today wasn't too bad, even before everyone cleared out. And it's nice that they finally got an elite roller coaster. It's not just all B&Ms.